Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Zandra DeGiorgio. Want to miss what your date of birth?
5/16/79.
All right. Ma'am, the charge this afternoon is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I'll appoint the PD statement.
No history, Your Honor.
And Zandra, I have an address for you on Philadelphia Avenue in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 3 years.
Okay. And Robert lives there as well?
Yes.
And do you have a job these days?
I didn't hear you.
Do you have a job?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
We own a car lot.
Okay. Do you work at the car lot?
Yes.
With Robert?
Yes.
Okay. And like these folks are family, but not Robert?
Correct.
You guys are just here to see what happens? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, we want to know what we should do next.
Okay, I'm going to let you know here in a second. All right. Sandra, I'm going to set your bond at $10. However, the condition of your bond is that while this case is pending, you're not going to have any contact with Robert. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him for you. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and I find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter. But that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges have dropped, you should assume they are not dropped, and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you today up until 4 o'clock this afternoon, so that if he was trying to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as the home on Philadelphia goes, as long as Robert stays there, you'll have to find somewhere else to stay until we get this case resolved. You may go by one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to go. But to do that, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They would meet you there with a deputy who would stand by while you collected your things and got going where you're going. You're going to be back in court on March 13th. It's very important that when you get out, you contact the public defender's office right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And for you folks, $10 gets you out of jail. You can go to the jail. It'll take a little while to process her out, but and it won't be until after 4 p.m. because they have to hold it till then. But if you're there after 4, you'll be able to get her out for $10, all right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Xander.
Thank you.
Kimberly Cruciano. Incoming. Sorry. Afternoon, Miss. What's your date of birth?
12584.
Kimberly, you're here on a charge of battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to the charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Yes.
I'll appoint the PD state.
I only see this right now.
Okay. And Kim, I have an address for you on Norvell Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
3 years.
And let's see. You have a job these days?
I'm a stay-at-home mommy right now.
Okay. And you live with your sister?
No.
Okay. Okay. So Kim, I'm going to set your bond at $100. Condition is that you have no contact with Kara. Did you hear me explain no contact a moment ago?
I heard all of it, yes.
Okay. You understand all that?
I understand, yes.
Also have to hold you till 4 o'clock this afternoon in case she wants to serve you with an injunction. Same thing with that house on Norvell. You can go by one time to collect your things, but you've got to contact the sheriff's office first. You'll be back. Go ahead.
Why Norvell? Norvell is where I live.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said you didn't live together. Scratch that. Okay. Never mind that. You'll be back on the 13th of March. When you get out, make sure you contact the PD, okay?
Okay, is it $100 or 10% of 100?
Well, it's $100, and you won't find a bondsman to do anything less than that, I suspect. So you need to get a hold of somebody who can bring $100 to the jail for you.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Yep. Carrie Young. After Ms. Young, what's your date of birth?
42979.
Ms. Young, I've got 5 charges this morning. I've got trafficking in methamphetamine, possession of methamphetamine with intent, keeping of a place or structure or vehicle for the purpose of selling drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. As to those charges, there's probable cause. You want to represent yourself? You want to have private counsel, or would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD state.
I don't see anything else in Florida. There's a lot of out-of-state.
Okay.
There's possession in 2008 of paraphernalia. There's a theft, receiving stolen property in 2008. Controlled substance possession in 2008. Retail theft in 2006. Forgery in 2005. Possession of controlled substance in 2005. Possession with intent to distribute in 2005. I'm not sure what some of the dispositions are on these out of states, but
Okay.
purchasing or possession of a dangerous weapon in 2002, that one does say convicted. Looks like these were out of Utah. There's also Texas history.
Kara, I have an address for you. Is it Pop Parkway in Hernando County? Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
8 years.
You have a job these days?
I do.
What do you do?
Home health care.
On the trafficking charge, I'm going to leave the bond for the arrest affidavit, which is the $5,000. There's possession of controlled substance. I'll set at $2,000. The possession of amphetamine with intent, I'll set at $2,000. The keeping of a place at $2,000, and the drug paraphernalia at $1,000. That's going to be a total of $12,000. Have you back in court on the 13th of March. If you get out, it's very important that you contact the public defender right away, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Justin Arrington. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
2/28/1986.
Mr. Arrington, same 5 charges as Ms. Young there. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Defender.
Appoint the PD, state.
In 2007, false information to a pawnbroker, dealing in stolen property. 2006, there was a violation of probation. 2005, petty theft. There was a burglary of structure in 2005, and it looks like he had 5 years DOC. Another burglary charge. Same year. So 2005, there was a couple burglaries and a grand theft.
All right. And Justin, I have an address for you on Saddleback Ridge. Looks like someplace in Orange County. Is that where you live?
That's not living no more.
Okay, where do you live now?
Inverness, Citrus County.
Okay, what's the address?
1716 South Paradise Point.
Okay. You have a job these days?
It's their own business.
What do you do?
I sell and install windows and doors.
Okay. I'm going to set your bonds the same way we did Ms. Young's, which is $5,000 on the trafficking, $2,000 on the other felonies, and $1,000 on the misdemeanor for a total of $12,000. You'll be back in court on the 13th of March. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
How can I be charged with that when they found it all on her, not me?
Okay. March 13th. Thank you.
What about using the phone?
Sit.
Please.
Sit. Matthew Gaudette. Afternoon, Matthew. What's your date of birth?
11/24/81.
All right, Matthew, this is a writ of bodily attachment out of Marion County. That means that a child support hearing officer up there and a circuit judge determined that you owe some child support. They set a cash purge of $1,157. If you can post that purge, you can get out of jail here, get to Marion County, and square away your child support issue. If you can't post the child support here, then Marion County will have 5 days to come get you. If you are still here in 5 days, they bring you back to see me. But when you get to Marion County, the judge there will have an opportunity to lower that purge amount for you if you're unable to pay it here, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. Kelsey Hicks. Mr. Hicks, what's your date of birth?
9064.
Kelsey, you're hearing a warrant I signed. Failed to appear in my courtroom on a charge of driving on a suspended license. Ms. Funker, is this something you can resolve today? I don't have his driving record, so I don't really know what his deal is.
Yeah, I don't have his driving record either.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So what other history is there?
Just, looks like misdemeanor, driving off suspended in 2017, a battery in 98, so
Okay.
adjudication, fines and court costs,
Okay.
prosecution.
Okay, Kelsey, you want to take time served on this and be done with it?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand by entering a plea today, you have the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Case number 18CT3789 is the charge that you drove. Knowing your license had been suspended or revoked, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
Contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served. Fine and court cost is $488, $50 for the day in jail, but that takes care of it, Kelsey. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Christopher Napier. Afternoon, Christopher. What's your date of birth?
1/7/1980.
Christopher, I got 2 charges today, possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting without violence. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you're going to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Appointed public defender, please.
I'll appoint the public defender. State what you got.
In 2018, driving while license suspended, second offense, grand theft motor vehicle withhold in 2018. False ID to law enforcement in 2014. Possession of paraphernalia in 2014. A PTI for possession of cannabinoid in 2014. A failure to appear in 2013. Criminal mischief withhold in 2010. That's what I have.
All right. And Chris, I have an address for you on Country Club Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Correct.
How long you been there?
6 years.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir.
Is that a no?
No.
All right. Set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. I'll have you back in court on March 13th. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender's office right away, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. David Stamper? Afternoon, Mr. Stamper. What's your date of birth?
10/10/72.
Mr. Stamper, I have 2 charges today. I've got an assault being domestic in nature and a criminal mischief. There's probable cause for both. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
PD.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
In 2011, there's a withhold on a violation of the domestic violence injunction. FTA in 2010 related to that. 1995 trespass. 92 aggravated battery. 92 simple battery. Nothing out of state.
Okay. And David, I have an address for you on County Line Road. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
Just a little over 5 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, I do.
What do you do?
GM Muscle. I'm an auto restoration specialist.
Okay. And you live with Jennifer?
I didn't. She moved out the other night.
Okay. Set the bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. Condition of that bond is that you have no contact with Jennifer. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes, sir.
And you understood that?
Yes, sir.
Also have to hold you till 4 p.m., so if she wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. As far as that address on County Line, if she's actually gone, that's fine. You can be there, but if it turns out she's there, you'll have to stay someplace else. We're clear on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you back in court on the 13th of March. Make sure you contact the public defender if you get out, okay?
Sir.
Thank you. All right. Joe, that's all I got. Anybody else?
That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.